Hi everyone, we are here in front of Lincoln Memorial. We just went to the Customs CBP National Conference and it was a full day session. We planned for an hour beforehand. We met with them for an hour and we did a recap for an hour. And this is the national level Custom Border Patrol. And this is for all the airports and the land border as well. Now they do not and speak for local airports and local ports of entry. Every local customs officer has their discretion and every port of entry has their own unique take on how to adjudicate every single individual. Everybody sees different people who are living within your district. They have different issues. So it's only fair that every single port of entry have their own specialty in adjudication. Now, at the national level, you might ask, well, what's the point? What's the use of a national conference if every single officer makes their own determination? Well, here are the things that's being rolled out at the national level. Number one, exit biometrics. Up till now, when you're leaving the country, they don't track you. They semi-track you in the sense of when you buy an airplane ticket, the airlines record your name, record your information, and they feed it to TSA, they feed it to customs. So there's an unofficial list of all the people who left, but it's not captured internally by CBP. And as we know, a lot of the airlines, there's ways to gamify it and there's ways to escape it at the land border or at the airports, and it could be inaccurate because it's human error. So who do you believe, right? We've had a client who said they left, but at the consulate, they said, no, you haven't left, you overstayed. And we know if you overstay a particular visa by even a few weeks, a few days, your visa could be terminated. And it's a huge ordeal to have to try to get it back. So these are the problems that we're seeing without an official exit stamp. And so that's what they're trying to roll out nationally. The second thing that they're trying to implement, well, let's talk about specifically the big elephant in the room. Is customs passing people over to ICE for detention? Point blank, very real question. We know ICE has a quota that they didn't meet. Customs do not have a quota. Are customs officers across the country at airports and the border under any pressure to pass people over to ICE for detention? Because we know for a fact that it happens. But is it because of inadmissibility? Is it because of just normal processing that they're passing it over? Or is there any sort of agreement on the national or the port of level? National affirmatively says that there's no collusion, cooperation, pressure. At the ports, they cannot speak on that. This is one of those scary moments because, as most people know who watch our channel, we had a client who was a 72-year-old grandma, came into the country, detained. She was willing to abandon the green card. She was willing to sign the 407, but the customs officer said no and passed her over to ICE. Every single officer that I've spoken with and every single situation up till now, when you're willing to sign the 407 and abandon the green card, you don't get detained and you don't get put to ICE. So the only explanation that's reasonable is that there is some sort of pressure to be passed over to ICE. The customs officer could have forced this 72-year-old grandma just to return home, buy a plane ticket, go home, right? They could have just deferred them in like everybody else as a parolee. No, they were passed over to ICE, detained for 5 weeks, had a trial, and then officially left. But at the national level, we got the clarification, there's no affirmative cooperation. The second thing that we wanted to press was, what is the policy regarding green card holders entering the country? Pre-COVID, we know a lot of times if you leave the US for over a year, it is a big no-no, it's a big problem. But because of COVID, because of a lot of things that we've seen, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it was okay in that short period, 2020, 2021. But then it got stricter and stricter, and to the point now we're seeing people directly get their green cards confiscated, get served with a court order to have to appear so that they are in removal proceedings directly from the airport. Some people still get let in, but they have to go to court. Some people just directly get detained. What is the official policy? Unfortunately, this is a local port decision. There is no national guidance on it. It is up to every single port to make their own determination regarding this. And of course, we're seeing across the ports of entries, it is getting stricter. If you left the US for over a year, they might deem it to be abandoned. If it's a low problem, they might be able to just confiscate the green card and you have a deferred inspection. But if it's more serious, they might directly give you a notice of intent to deny and you have to appear before an immigration judge to prove that you did not abandon their green card. So that's another big issue. But here's something that's affirmatively what we're seeing. And it's that there are lots of ICE agents now moved over to the northern border. So many people have seen people get picked up at the land border. So this is what we're talking about. In the past, you drive across the northern border. You have a green card. They review it, you get waved in. The biggest problem in the past was that they don't check the green card. They don't scan it into the system. You come in and it's as if you didn't come in. And then you leave, it's as if you never stayed. And then when you come in again, there was no prior record and then you get pulled over in the future, right? So that was the biggest problem of the past. But now, they are taking the green card, they are checking it, and if there's a problem, you pull them to secondary, and then you get ICE detention. That is new. Why? It's beyond what most people can talk about, but National can confirm that ICE agents, a lot of them are at the northern border checking people in. And that has been a big problem. So, the advice now for local attorneys is that if you have clients from Canada coming into the United States, if they have a somewhat of an issue, whether it's because they might have abandoned their green card, they have a criminal record, they have some sort of issue, it's almost recommended to go to the airports and go through pre-clearance, because at pre-clearance and at the airports, ICE is not stationed there. At best, or at worst, the airport officers say, the airlines say, sorry, you don't have the valid documents, you cannot board. Or the airlines say, you can board, but then pre-clearance says, nope, we're not gonna let you board. Go around, turn around, get new documents, and then come back. You wasted a plane ticket, but you didn't get detained at least. So again, this is a brand new advice. It's a huge pivot. In the past, it's common sense to say land border is better than airports, but now it's not the case anymore, at least at the northern border. At the southern border, where I practice on a weekly basis at Tijuana, it is still good to go through the land border as opposed to the pre-clearance. But again, why are ICE agents now stationed at the northern border across the country is something of a mystery for a lot of people.